Hey everybody, it's LaWann. How are you doing this Friday afternoon? I just wanted to hop on here really quick and just talk about the importance of knowing your capacity. So if you are like me, you have a lot of things going on at all times. Things are always changing, they're always evolving. And as I like to say, we write our plans in pencil and we give God the eraser. So if this is your first time listening, my name is LaWann, and I am a productivity coach that is helping moms to really reclaim their time and find their freedom. And we do this through systems, boundaries, and priorities. And I'm also the host of the More Than a Mother podcast, where we believe you can pursue your dreams and be a great mom at the same time. Now, today, where it comes to knowing your capacity, I will say I always believe in being transparent and being honest and keeping things real. And this is another real life moment, a real life lesson from me. These past 2 weeks, I would say, in my life, things have really just started changing. They really started shifting around. And when you kind of find that rhythm in life, you have a great thing going. You're finally figuring everything out. Your rhythm is working. Everything is working, flowing smoothly together. Here comes something to kind of change and switch up those plans. So I will say that this has been happening, and it really has caused me to kind of halt, to kind of step back, to kind of take a little break and reevaluate things and all that I have going on. Now, I had plans to go forward with podcasting, business, all these different things, and kind of take my break in August. But with all these changes that have happening, God's kind of telling me, okay, you need to scale back, make these adjustments now, and that is what I'm doing. Now, I know a lot of times we get kind of caught up in, okay, I said I'm going to do this, said I'm going to do that, I have this going on, I have that going on, and when things kind of change, we start to beat ourselves up. But I will say one thing in knowing and being a mom and working and running a business and a podcast, I am learning the importance of being flexible, adapting, and adjusting, because just because things kind of have to take that halt, you have to pause and everything, it doesn't mean that it's a period. It's kind of more like a comma. So these things that have been happening in my life, changes at work, taking on additional responsibilities. I have an exciting opportunity that's coming up in the fall. I'm doing a business coaching class, all with parenting and life, everything at the same time. So with all these changes in these past weeks, it's like, okay, I can't go about business as usual. I have to know my capacity. And the importance in knowing your capacity and knowing your boundaries and having those priorities and limits, you're able to step back and say, okay, I know what my capacity is. I don't have the capacity to continue to operate business as usual. Things are changing, things are adapting, things are adjusting, and I would drive myself crazy right now if I continue to operate business as usual. So let me give you a real life example of what that kind of looked like for me. So I had my podcasting schedule planned out through this month of July to continue with my 2 episodes per week, and then I would take my break in August and resume in September. Well, when life changed a little over about a week and a half ago, it was like, okay, I can't keep up with putting out these 2 podcast episodes right now and doing all these other things. So I had to give myself that grace to say, okay, I'm going to scale back on what I have been doing normally in podcasting and find a way to make this work for me right now. So instead of sitting down, kind of editing, going through the content that I have, I am right now evaluating ways of how I can keep up with my podcast through this month of July, take that break in August as I plan. But I'm realizing that the content is going to look a little different. Things are going to look a little different. And guess what? That's okay. The thing is, when you know your capacity and you're willing and able to adapt and adjust, then you can figure out how to make things work, how to navigate things when this thing called life gets crazy. And that's one of the important things about knowing what your boundaries are, knowing yourself, being self-aware, and all of that, so that when these changes do come, you're able to adapt, adjust, and I hate to say go with the flow, but at one point it does become a go with the flow type of situation while you're in that change. And I felt it was important for me to kind of share that with you all, because a lot of us, we have things figured out, and when things change, we kind of fall apart. We don't know what we're going to do. We don't know how we are going to handle it. But I wanted to share with you just a real life example of right now behind the scenes. Things for me are changing in all different types of areas, but I'm adapting and adjusting, and I am recognizing what my capacity is and knowing what I can take on and what I cannot take on. And guess what? That is okay. So on those days when things start changing for you, you find things that are getting hard, just check in with yourself. Remember what your capacity is. It is really okay, especially as a business owner. Your business is yours and you can make it look as you want it to look. Being a mom life is always going to present something to you. So you just learn to kind of make it all work together. But it's all about knowing yourself, knowing your capacity, and really continuing to push forward the best way that you can. So be encouraged on this Friday. Go out, enjoy the nice weather if you're in a place where the weather is nice. If you're in a place where it's storming and everything, just be safe and really enjoy your weekend. And remember that only you know your capacity. Only you can place the boundaries and limits in your life. And really, you have to do what is best for you, because at the end of the day, if you aren't feeling your best, if you aren't your best, then there is nothing without you. So you have no business, you have nothing if you aren't able to show up as your personal best. So go out and have a great Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you're spending time with family. And as I always say, don't forget, in all the hustle and everything, don't forget to have fun.